hello. Hello, inspired professionals. Welcome to our Friday show with Yvonne and Loubna. So let us know where you're tuning in from, if you're, in the United States, Canada, wherever. And if you are tuning in live, we would like you to put hashtag live. And if you're tuning in on the replay, put hashtag replay. So we are going to be coming to you every Friday at 12:30 because we want to answer your questions. You have questions and we have the answers. I'd like to introduce myself. If you have not met me before, I'm Yvonne Robinson Jackson, your career advancement coach, and I help you to get hired. I help you to get promoted, to communicate your message with income and earn more salary. So that is what I do. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to introduce Loubna. Loubna is going to introduce herself.
Yes, thank you, Yvonne. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you. You know what? We decided we're going to have fun on Friday, okay, and bring another amazing people to join us and support you wherever you are in your career. So, like Yvonne, I'm also a career coach. I work with high achieving executives from different industries. And I help them through career advancement, career transition. And it's about, positioning themselves the best they can, owning their value and going out there and negotiating the best salaries. And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Awesome. So we have some people tuning in. We have Lisa Mallory. Hello from Portland, Oregon. And we have a LinkedIn user from New Jersey. We have Rami. We have Venue. We have Shruti Goel. And she is
Hi,
Washington, D.C. That's awesome. So we're going to let Loubna kick it off because we're going to talk today about how to negotiate salaries. I know that this is a big topic for people, how to negotiate salaries. And they say, I see a lot of ladies here, and they say that women don't negotiate. And we're two women who love to talk salaries and who love to negotiate. And Loubna is going to talk to you about your mindset around negotiation. So, Loubna, why don't you take it away?
Yes, Yvonne, that's the first thing to start with. Okay, you just went through the interview process and you're going to start negotiating, okay? You went through the interview, you got an offer, a written offer, of course, with a number. What do you do next? Do you just say, oh, great, I'm super happy, I'm going to accept it? Everybody has to go through a negotiation process. And actually, employers will value that, right? They will know that you are a leader, that you have skin in the game. So negotiation has to be part of the process. And the first thing, as you know, most people I've worked with, they know that the mindset is very important. You guys need to have a money mindset. What I mean by that, before entering into the negotiation, you need to tell yourself, yes, I'm worth it. I'm worth that number. I'm worth a bigger number, right? And you have to talk to yourself in a very positive way and get ready for the whole process. Because if you don't trust yourself, if you don't trust your value, if you don't believe that you deserve to ask for that amount of money, okay, and deserve to ask for a package and negotiate for it, guess what? The other party will feel it and they will be, they will be pushing back. So yeah, first thing is the money mindset, and we will deep dive into the other components.
All right. I just wanted to find out from all our lovely people who are watching us. Just put in the chat do you like to negotiate? Are you intimidated by negotiating? Let me know what's going on there, because I'm sure that towards the end of February, you probably all saw a viral post going around where a young lady offered a job seeker $85,000 when she had a budget of 130. So just think about you not negotiating, and then you hear that you could have made $130,000, 45,000 more by negotiating. When you start at a stage, at a number, and even if you get the job, every year they're gonna, if they give you a bonus, or if they give you, a percentage, it's gonna be percentage on that number. So when you start too low, you're always losing. You are always losing. So I would like to know from our people here. Let me highlight this. We have a user here from the Philippines,
Wow,
working in Kuwait.
nice.
Okay, we have people from all over. That's awesome. That's amazing. So I want to hear
Kuwait.
from you, career professionals, why you would not negotiate. Why don't you negotiate? So drop some comments in there and we'll talk about that. But let me ask Loubna right now. Loubna, why do you think people don't negotiate?
I think that it's fear of rejection, right? And I can speak for myself few years ago when I used to when I can you hear me? I got frozen for
I
a
can hear
second.
you. No, you're not frozen.
Okay, I can speak for myself. Looking back few years ago, when I would get an offer, I would be scared to miss that. I would be scared of rejection. I would be scared that the employer would tell me, if you don't like that offer, then sorry, we're going to take it back. And actually, it happened to me once. I had two offers and I started negotiating one of them, and the employer got offended. But you know what? The learning from that was that it wasn't the perfect fit for me. Okay, if they're not open to negotiating and me discussing my value, then I don't think I want to be working there. So yeah, so I think the main thing is the fear of rejection, the fear of not succeeding in the process. But at the end of the day, you always need to stand up for yourself. So that's what I
Exactly.
think. Yeah.
Exactly. And the user said, old stigmas, fear of missing out. You see that one? And we have another
Yes.
user that says, here with us, we practice negotiations either from outside the company or with our applicants. So I think this person
Oh,
is
nice.
probably our recruiter, right? Because it
Nice.
is very important. If you think that your career, this is where I start, your career is a business.
Yes.
And if you are not in a career, you'd be running a business or you'd go hungry,
Yeah.
right? I am pretty plain about these things, right? I'm pretty upfront about this thing. And if you want to help your family, if you want, how are you going to help your family? How are you going to help yourself if you don't negotiate? Because remember, if you lost $45,000, like that person, they lost $45,000, right?
Yeah.
You could either at the beginning of the year invest it in something, right? Why don't career professionals become millionaires? I became a millionaire in a 9 to 5 job. I love to say, because guess what? I earned my big money and I invested my big money so that when you retire, you can have the money. So in order to accumulate income, you have to have not just a job, you have to have multiple sources of income. And that is one of the ways that you are going to be able to save the money to have multiple sources of income, right? So
Yeah.
let me highlight somebody else.
Yeah.
Um,
We have some great comments here.
right. He says,
Yvonne.
as women especially are selling ourselves short if
Yeah.
we do not negotiate. So women are selling themselves short because of fear.
Yes. Yes. And you know what, Yvonne? Like I'm sure you've heard that many times. Sometimes you can have a man and a woman at the exact same level, but as women, we're making 20 or 30K less. Why is that? And sometimes men come with less skills than women, but they have, okay, we'll say they have the guts to negotiate and they get what they want,
Yes,
right?
because hear this, friends. I say this all the time. I have my little saying, closed mouths don't eat. If you don't ask, you don't get. So if you don't see your career as a business and that you approach your career and in everything, and other weeks coming up, we're going to talk about different topics. But if you work on your career as a business, then you would know that everything that around your career, you're going to treat it as a business, and negotiation is a part of it. Right. And as I say, if you want to get out of one situation into another, if you want to get out of this low income situation, you're going to have to make sure that you negotiate, because the company doesn't care about you as much as you care about you. So always remember that you have to take care of me incorporated, take care of yourself, right? And let us highlight some more things going on here.
Yes, yes.
You want to
There's
read this one? Lubna?
yes, Vino is mentioning the fear of pushing too hard, that the employer will take back the offer. Yes, Vino, and you know what? That's the exact example I gave. It happened to me 10 years ago. Okay, I had an offer from uh, more of sales organization, and I had an offer from a consulting company, and I was weighing both at the same time. I remember it was December and I was hoping to get a new job in January. And when I started negotiating with the company that was offering me a sales job, I mean, that's what you do as a salesperson, right? Even if I did that, they pushed back and they told me, okay, Loubna, we're taking back our offer. I was in shock. But then looking back, and even at that time, I just told myself, oh my God, if they do that now, how am I going to fit into that company? So again, it's about the mindset that you go with when you enter the negotiation process. And you know what, Vino, and you know this, right? I always tell you guys, you have to know your value. You know that you're bringing so many things to the table, and these employers will be lucky to have you within. Okay, so you need to give it a try, and you need to go with the mindset that it's okay to negotiate. You go with the mindset that you're going to push, they're going to push back, and it's okay. And there's something that we will be talking about is a couple of numbers that you want to have in mind prior to getting into the negotiation. Okay,
All
so
right. Yeah,
Yvonne, do
great.
you want us to talk about that right now, or we keep looking at the comments?
Yeah, so it's good to interact and feel out
Yes.
to see what people are saying. Because somebody is saying that, and I wanted to deal with this one. Negotiation can be tough at times. There is a concern about overpricing yourself, but you are exactly correct. Ask for exactly what you believe and what you're worth. And so this is probably going to help segue into the pricing and all that. But
Yes.
negotiation can be tough at times, and I wanted to say a little bit about that. Yes. But hear this, it's not as tough if you go with the right mindset, as Loubna says, and if you think that this company is playing hardball, they don't want to give you your money, don't work for them. It is not every job that you go for is for you. You might be jumping out of the frying pan. I have these little sayings. I grew up in Jamaica, so we like our little sayings, peeps. You might be jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. So if you are dealing with people and they are mean, what happened when you get the job and they know you? They're going to be meaner. It's not every job. Once you start getting offers, once you start getting interviews, there are more coming. And the best thing that you can do as a job seeker is make sure that when you're looking for a job, you have more than one interviews coming, and there are other ways to do that. We're going to talk in future Fridays about how to interview and things like that, because there is a way to make sure that you have more than one offers. I worked with people and they have like 3 offers. A young girl, she's starting this week with, I think, TD. She had 3 offers and she just left university. and she had 3 offers, so she could choose. It's
Right.
good when you can choose. If you don't have anything to choose from, you're not gonna get nervous. So job searching is a strategy around everything, not only around the negotiation. It's a strategy about around your search, about how you show up on LinkedIn, around everything, so that you can have more than one offers and you will be in a position to choose, right? So let us
Yes.
segue into, sorry, I need water.
Negotiate.
Let us segue into pricing, right? Let us talk about the before we even get into pricing. What do you do when
Yes.
you go into a job interview, Loubna? What do you do?
Wanna
We talk
to
about the
prepare?
before, the during, and the after. So what do you do before to make sure?
Okay, we're talking about the job interview now,
Yeah, well,
or you
before,
mean?
before we go into the negotiation, before we go
Okay,
into negotiation, what do you do?
actually, both, Yvonne. You know what? We go back to that money mindset. We need to know our value. We need to know how much we're going to ask for, right? So, okay, so let's take the scenario where you went through the interview process, you love the company, you connected really well with the people who interviewed you, and you know you want to keep going with the process. So the main thing you're going to do is to start doing some research, right? You're going to do some research to find out the range of salary for that specific position. And there are different sites that you can look into. For example, Glassdoor. You can go and check people's posts, okay? People who have worked for that company that you're interviewing with, and see what the range is. Because what you want to do, you want to ask for your fair market value. If you don't ask for your fair market value, like Yvonne mentioned earlier, there was that example of her client who left 45K on the table, 45K, and there's no way to make up for it, right? So you always want to be prepared mentally and prepared with the research. There are a couple of things you want to have in mind. In bargaining, okay, so one of the processes of one of the steps into the negotiation process is bargaining, okay, and before you get into there, you want to have what you call your BATNA, best alternative to a negotiated agreement, okay. What's the best amount of money and the best package you would like to get, right? It includes the salary, it includes the benefits, it includes eventually relocation benefits, all right? What's the best alternative? And then you also need to have another number, which is your walkaway price. If they give you less than that, then you know that you will not take that job. Okay, so yeah, so we'll keep going with the discussion. Go ahead, Yvonne.
So so that person was that was a viral post, actually, Loubna. It wasn't my
Yes, I
class.
saw it. I saw
It
it.
was a
I was
viral
like,
post.
wow. I
Yeah,
know.
it's like,
I know.
wow, walk away from $45,000.
Yeah.
An easy way to think about your range is that have a floor and have a ceiling, right? The
Yes.
ceiling is what you are going to look for. And sometimes I say have 3 numbers if you want. Have the floor and have your ceiling and have your ideal number. But remember, your ceiling can be your ideal number. But when you give them a range, they will always, most times, they meet you in the middle because they want to know they get something and they want to know you get
Yes.
something. So if you know you want $45,000, just to pick up a number, or say, let me give a good number because none of my clients make 45,000. They
No,
make
we're going 6 figures and up. Come on.
come on, right? And you can get the 6 figures too, guys. All of you here can get 6 figures,
Oh,
or
yes.
you can aim to get 6 figures. I'm telling you, I work with people, and
Yes.
by the time they're done, they get their salaries 84% increase. Come on. Yeah, so you can get that. So hear this. If your number that you want is $90,000, let's just put it there, right? And or even let me not say $190,000.
Okay.
and you're going into the negotiation thing, but you know, if you have done your research and you know what these people probably are going to pay you, sometimes you know that the salary is not 90, so you know the salary was less or whatever. Ensure that the number that you want is either the highest you'll give them or in the middle. Okay. Right. So you
Yes.
can say 85 to 95. Sometimes they give you 95. I've worked with people before. I placed a lady once. She was a communication specialist, and when she gave them a number, and they even gave her a higher number. So
Oh,
salary,
that's
because
rare.
sometimes, and that's rare, but
That's
sometimes
rare.
clients will do
Yeah.
it because at the time communications directors were hard to find, right? And I
Mm.
think she wanted about 130, and I think she ended up with 145 at that time, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so that was okay. They gave her more money. You want to know that you don't leave out of the negotiation table with cognitive dissonance. You don't want to know that you leave out of there saying, oh my goodness, I just took $20,000 less than what I wanted. So you can get it. But remember, if they're going to haggle with you over a little $10,000, maybe that's not the place for you to work,
That's
right?
not okay.
So that's good. We talk about, you can ask for, you have your range. And some people, I just want to interject here, say, don't say a number first or say a
Yeah.
number
No.
first. Some people,
No.
I see a lot of people, and I see big stake negotiators. I know a big stake negotiator. I won't call his name. He's on YouTube. He's big. He's a billionaire. But remember, guys, we're not billionaires. We are not negotiating real estate, right? This guy's a real estate mogul. We're not. So when he gives a number and he's very aggressive, right? You don't want to go into a job interview that aggressive, right? So
Yeah.
remember, what you need to do is, when don't give them any number first. Every company has a budget. Ask for the budget so that you can have a basis to work from. Even if you think you need more than the budget, get the budget, talk about the number that you are, you're worth. And sometimes I've seen people go into negotiation table and they did not have the amount for that job, but they found another job because they were so good that the company decided to hire them, upscale their what they call the title, and give them the money. So it's all comes back to that. And Lubna is going to talk to you about your worth, because it is based all
Yes.
upon your worth. And if you're going to that negotiation table and you're worth more and you're maybe even higher skill than that job that you were going for, clients will do it, guys. Don't leave money on the table. So Lubna, what about the worth? How do you determine that you're worth X or you're worth Y?
So before I get there, Yvonne, I want to add on what you shared. Okay, you have the range, and usually what I tell my clients, I tell them, okay, you're gonna go into the negotiation and you're gonna share the range, and you add something. Okay, so this is the range that I'm looking for, and I'm bringing all those skills to the table. Okay, I based on what I'm bringing to the table, I expect to be compensated at the highest level of your range. This is how it can be positioned. Okay, so this is the range. I know about it, but since, and you don't even give them a number, all right, before they even share the range with you, you can tell them, all right, I'm bringing all of these skills to the table. I'm going to be a perfect addition to your team. And then you highlight your value proposition, and then you tell them, based on that, I expect to be compensated at the highest level of your range. Okay. So, okay, what did we
So
say?
somebody here says,
Vinu had a question, I
okay,
think, Vinu and
Venu had a
Anissa.
question. Venu says the starting process usually includes HR giving a range that you accept to have, you come on for an interview. She says sometimes they give you the range before you go for the interview. I think that's what Venu is saying, right, Venu?
So she has another question that she posed
Okay,
before.
so
What
I just
happens?
what
Yes.
happens what happens if you agree to arrange earlier in the interview process, then how do you negotiate at the job offer stage to highlight to higher end or above the higher range?
So I mean, the
What are the
negotiate.
things for range earlier and then
Yeah.
negotiation stage?
So I mean, I'm assuming that during the interview there is no specific number, right? They would give you a range, and if they give you a number, you can tell them, here's what you can say. You're not going to agree to anything. You don't agree. You don't negotiate until you get the written offer. What are you going to negotiate? What are you going to agree to if they didn't give you an offer yet? Right? So that's the mindset to go with again. You're going to tell them, oh, okay, this is great. I'm open. I'm open to discussing that once we both once we both agree that we're a fit to work with each other. Okay, there are always ways to go around it and not give them a number. And I know that sometimes when you guys are sending the application through the ATS system, they ask you for a number and you're forced to put it. So you can, if you can put negotiable, put negotiable. If not, try to come with the best and closest number to what you're looking for. Okay.
I had a situation with a client recently, very recently. She went and she had to put a number so that it can, the ATS can accept the application, and she did put a number. But then when she went to the interview and they were talking about it, they had to explain that you have to put that number in order to get through the system. Yeah, they
Yeah.
understand that you have to put the number in, and when they give you the range, you can discuss it, because a lot of times their range your number might be within their range, right?
Yeah.
So just have a conversation around it. And
Bec-
if their number is lower than the number that you have, you can also ask them. You can negotiate other things, because Loubna did talk about negotiating other what they call it, other
Benefits and yeah.
benefits and things like that. So you can
Yes.
make the benefits be a part of that. You can make bonuses be the addition
Exactly.
to that, and everything
Yeah.
like that. So don't be
Vacation
afraid.
time.
Vacation time
Vacation
and stuff
time.
like that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
let me see what we can highlight here.
Let me add something. I
Oh,
actually just worked with one of my clients like last week. Okay. Yeah. And he got a great offer actually within his own company. He's going to be managing more accounts, and he got offered like 20%, a salary that was 20% higher. And during the negotiation process, I mean, I kind of, not pushed. I'm not going to say pushed because I don't tell people what to do, but I just want them to get the best, right? So I was asking him questions. Do you feel comfortable asking for a little bit more? Do you feel comfortable doing that? And even like answering and sending an email or responding to the hiring manager in a way that shows how uh, how comfortable you are negotiating. Okay, you want to stay professional, you want to stay polite, you don't want to be arrogant, you don't want to be aggressive, right? Like you mentioned earlier, Yvonne, you don't want to be going with that tone, but you want them to feel your assertiveness. You want them to feel that, hey, I'm bringing all of these things to the table. I'm going to be the best candidate for this position. So
yeah,
accordingly, you need to pay me my worth, right?
yeah,
So at the end of the day, I mean, he was able to negotiate actually 25% increase and negotiate some extra things like a great relocation package. We talked about more vacation, but there was a limit, so that's okay. But in any case, you need to ask for that little extra, and that little extra, right, is going to be helping you throughout the year and throughout the years if you decide to stay with your company. So,
Let's see what Venu is saying here, Muni. She says, don't agree to any numbers earlier on. You can turn it back on them and ask what they expected salary range from their end for the role, or state that you would be open to discussing this
yes.
at a later stage. Because we see a lot of things on LinkedIn where they're telling people, oh, you need to know upfront, everything upfront. Listen, people want to work with people who they like and trust, and at the
Yes.
first interview or whatever, they don't know you yet. So you wait, you at least wait before you start talking money. And also it's good to get a number to start where you can negotiate from. So these are great points to talk about. I'm going to go and see, somebody's asking here, what happens in a situation when you're asked for a number and the company is not willing to tell you the budget? That's a very good question.
So we covered that, right? We covered it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we covered it in a
If
way.
they're not ready to tell you the budget. Now, if they
This-
are going to hire you and they're not willing to tell you the budget, what does that say about that company? So you have to sort of think about that too, right? Unless you are
Yes.
very, very, very you're at a stage where, okay, I gotta get this job, I've got to take this job. But you should try not to wait until you reach a stage where you have to make that decision. I have to take this job because I have nothing left, right?
Exactly.
The best place to start looking help about this thing is when you just got laid off. Don't wait until 6 months after, when all your money is run out, and you have no more money, and then you have to just take any old job. That is why you have to start this planning from early. Or if you're in a job and it is not suiting you and you're not going to walk away from your job, but you're going to start planning on how you're going to make your exit, and start early so you can plan before. You have to have the information.
So Yvonne, yes, and actually, I know a lot of people. Okay, there are many clients I work with. I mean, they already have amazing jobs. They have great positions, and they're still working, but something is missing, right? So one of the things to be doing, like you said earlier, Yvonne, your career is a business, right? You're not going to let the business until it goes down, until it goes bankrupt, right? You don't want to do that. You want to start planning ahead, and you want to start asking yourselves the right questions. Is this the right position for me? Am I being paid for fairly? Should I negotiate something better within my company? Should I start looking elsewhere? Okay, but that's another discussion. And it brings me to the point that you're negotiating constantly, right? Everybody is negotiating constantly, and you get to know your fair market value. If you're not getting paid your worth, then something is wrong. Then it's the time to start reevaluating your situation. Okay?
Right. And when we say that the company doesn't care about you as you care about yourself, and this is so true, and the job seeker or listener did reiterate that. We're not beating up on companies, guys. I was a director of a company,
No.
right? We don't beat up on our people, right? We go with the right mindset. But it is true that you care about yourself. I've been in companies before and things happen, and the employee just becomes a number. When things are not going right, everybody's going to be a number. They're going to lay you off. You're a number. Right
Yeah.
now, they're trying to cut costs. Everybody is worried about their own jobs, right? And I've seen that before in companies. And that is why I'm saying, don't wait until the end. Start at the beginning. Start now. Start today and see your career as a business. And one of the things that I would like to tell you right now is that in order to determine how much is your worth, you're going to have a notebook or somewhere where you write down your achievements. You need to have your brag file, some people call it, but your achievements file, so that when you're at work and somebody says something good about a project you've done, and your manager says something nice about a project you've done, or you know, a client says something nice about you, you get those emails. Don't leave them there. Forward them to your personal email so that you can have them later on to work with, right? And when you do a great project and it went well and you remember that in the moment, write it down, put some information somewhere so that when you go for a job interview or you go to a negotiation table, you can talk about the problems you solve, the action, and the results. So, what you need to do is to use what we call maybe a PAR technique. They have different techniques that you can use
Yes.
to be easy, CAR, PAR, but most times when you're working, you're solving problems, right? Because they bring you into the company, because the three things that make a company work successfully is people, products, or process, and people, processes, and products, right?
Products. Yeah.
They bring you in to help with the process. So you did a great project and they made $50 million, or their revenues increased by $10 million. You have to have those stories so that when you go into a negotiation table, you can tell your career story, because your career is a history, it's a story. So if you
Yes.
don't do that, you're going to forget. Okay. So just remember your brand file or your achievements file. That is what is going to help you to price yourself, because that is a part of the pricing. Okay. So I don't know
Yes.
if Loubna has anything to add to that brand file thing.
Yes. So I like your process, the one you posted, I don't know, last week or a week before, the PAR. So I have another one that I use with my client. It's like I use the STAR method, right? And yeah, and we'll talk about how to work on the resume, how to highlight the achievements in future sessions. But yes, you want to remember what you're bringing to the table. And you want to have a section on your resume that highlights your achievements. What were the projects you worked on? Okay, what was the situation? What were the tasks that your manager asked you to focus on? What actions did you take, and what were the results? All right. So every project you work on has to be outcome driven. And yes, that's a great exercise to do before going into the interview or before negotiating. Go and read your resume. Go and read, that book where you have all your achievements. Go and read it and feel amazing, okay, before going into the negotiation process. You need to feel amazing before starting the interview, before starting the negotiation. Because again, we go back to the mindset discussion that we started with today. It's really, really important. And last week, Yvonne, I was working with an executive. For a short period of time, she wanted to apply for a higher position within her company, and she's like, "Oh my God, Loubna, I need your help, and I need to get that position." And you know what? Like throughout the whole preparation, I'm telling her, look at everything you have achieved. I want you to read that over and over and over. And before each interview, I want you to go, like even in front of the mirror, and tell yourself, I'm amazing. I can do it. And go with that energy, right? Energy is everything too.
Energy is everything.
Yes.
Energy is everything. We need to write that down, because guys, um you have your, I call it your zone of genius, right? You
Yes.
know what you're good at. You'll have two people who are good at the same thing on paper, but your delivery is gonna based on your experience, both work and in life experience. That is why your delivery is better, because two people can have the same set of skills, but their delivery is different. What makes you stand out? What makes you marketable? What will get the hiring manager to choose you over somebody else? Because even when you go to the negotiation table, sometimes they're negotiating with, they're negotiating with you first, but they have a backup. Most companies always have a backup. Okay, and they come to you first, so you're going to do your negotiation. But why did they choose you? When you reach a negotiation stage, they want you, they like you, they don't have time to waste. And that is the reason why they're negotiating with you. If they did not want you for the job, they are not going to waste their time. So don't be nervous. This is one of the reasons why you should not be afraid or be nervous, because the reason why they're talking to you still, remember, they talked to you maybe twice already. They still call you back to talk to you. So as Loubna said, feel amazing. Feel good about it. Go to that job interview with armed with information. And Loubna did talk about some places you can go. Glassdoor, if you're in the States. The Department of Labor Statistics is another place where you can go and do your research. If you're in Canada, the Government of Canada website is another place, right? There's Glassdoor and places like that. So just remember, do your research, know your number,
Yes.
right? And you are amazing. So go in there and practice, practice,
Practice.
practice, practice. Anybody else have any
Yes.
questions here?
Yeah, there's something I would like to address, Namita. But before, okay, thank you for joining us, LinkedIn user. I'm not sure who it is. We're
Yeah,
glad you
LinkedIn
joined
user,
us.
like the users.
Yeah, we'll be doing that every Friday. You know,
Yeah,
it's
we're
fun
gonna do
for
it
us.
every Friday. Yes, and another thing, when we get our LinkedIn audio, we are just amazed. The reason why we started to do this, guys, is because we're anticipating that when the audio come on, you will be able to come on stage. If you have never seen that before, it's amazing thing
Oh,
coming. And you
nice.
can come on stage, you can ask your questions. When I say come on stage, we can hear you, right? But it is on LinkedIn. So we're not seeing you physically like how we're doing
I know.
StreamYard now, but you'll be able to come on stage, you'll be able to ask questions, you'll get your questions answered. So we would love you all who came here
Okay.
today, this user who just left, I'm sure, yeah.
So
So that you come
where
back.
is
Um,
where is the question
we have some
from
more questions. Let me
Namita?
see if we have some more questions here to deal with, because this was just going to be half
Yvonne?
an hour. Where
There
are
is
we?
one from Namita. She says
Namita.
it makes her nervous when many employers approach her.
All
I
right.
feel
So
hope I get through the best one. Or Namita. Okay,
I
this is
saw
great
that.
question.
Is Namita
You
here? Oh, it's here, right here, Namita. We're going to answer
Here
you
she is. So Namita is getting many offers and she feels nervous. You should feel excited. You should feel
now.
amazing about it. And and go into the preparation mode. Okay? Preparation mode, putting yourself in the right mindset, feeling comfortable with the numbers and the research you have gathered. Okay? Everything is about preparation. It's not like I hope. Of course, we hope, we pray, we do. But at the end of the day, we need to be prepared. We need to be very much prepared. And we need to know everything we're going to discuss. You get to have an amazing resume. You get to have an amazing value proposition. You get to prepare and know the BATNA and know the walkaway number that you want to accept. Okay? And get excited and
No,
compare
that's so
the
exciting.
offers.
Namita. Okay, hear this now. Namita, you're wonderful. Many people are coming to you. You gotta, say, "Oh, mercy, thank God." Yeah, you gotta be happy about that. Because when you start getting nervous, you lose your confidence. Because two of the main things about your career is make sure you are confident and make sure you can communicate. And that is what we are trying to help you to do in your communication and bring your confidence up. So if somebody comes to you and you have like three interviews going, that's a celebration. Go out and buy a nice dinner, do something, celebrate yourself, reward yourself through the process, feel good about it. Run in the morning, go do some exercise so that by the time you go to the interview or go to this negotiation table, your energy is up. Because
Yes.
right now you're amazing. 4 people are reaching out to you. My God, how better can it get? Right?
Mhm.
So what you do, don't feel nervous, because nervous is going to work again. Where nervousness and anxiety will work against you, What you want to do is
Yes.
to bring your confidence up and say to yourself, oh my goodness, I'm so amazing that I have three people reaching out to me, right? Be happy because guess what? You're going to have three people to choose from. So you don't have to
Yes.
pick. So you're going to look at all the offers and choose the best in terms of not just the money, the company culture, and things like that. So we're not going to go into that today. Lubna, do
Yes.
you have something more to say?
Yes, so I just wanted to add yes, when you're going through
Keep
the
going.
whole
My mouse fell.
process. Hmm?
Keep going. My mouse fell. I gotta pick my.
Okay. So yes, Namita, like I said earlier, the preparation is key. Knowing your numbers is key, and also preparing with great energy. So one of the tricks I do whenever I have like a very important call, I play music that I love. Yeah, and my clients know that we do that sometimes when we finish our calls. You move the energy, you feel great, and you go with an amazing mindset into the interview. And just remember, these are people, okay? We're not robots, we're people. They need you as much as you need them, and just thinking about that will make you feel much better. Okay.
Yes, and Namita says it was not the offers, but the initial virtual meeting with the employees. That's
That's right.
okay. If a
That's
lot of people are
celebration.
reaching out to you, it's because you're amazing. You have something that they see that they want. They don't have time. Listen, I was a recruiter, guys. Recruiters are busy. No matter how you say they beat them up on LinkedIn. I used to recruit when I was recruiting or in the beginning and the heart of recruiting. I'm reaching out to people at 11 o'clock at night when you're sleeping, right? Not every recruiter goes to bed, goes home at 4 o'clock and shut the book down. So you have to understand that a lot of these people, the hardworking ones, are very busy. So they're reaching out to you at night. They're reaching out to you. Sometimes I used to have to write the names down so that it doesn't look like I'm reaching out to them too late. That's how it was because you don't want to be. Sometimes they say, should you reach out? I used to hear this question: should you reach out to people after 10 o'clock at night? I don't suppose it matters now because we're in a COVID. Everybody's at home now.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes, you have to know that the reason why they're reaching out to you, they see something in your resume, something on your LinkedIn profile that is attractive, and they have other people that they could reach out to. So be positive about that. It's energy. Energy begets energy. Once that is happening to you, and Lubna is big on the mindset thing, she will tell you once you're getting that momentum, the momentum is just only going to build. So be positive about it, be happy about it.
Yes, what you said earlier about, when people are anxious, yeah, there's a section of your brain that gets shut down, and you don't want that. You want to light up all the sections of your brain that are going to stay lit up and bring you the amazing energy and bring you the clarity. Okay? Because when you're not clear on what you're going to do, what you're going to say, then yeah, the likelihood of being successful goes down. All
Yes.
right. If you guys
So,
have any more questions, please put them in the chat.
yeah.
Okay.
And if you what we're going to do, we're going to answer if there are any questions that we did not answer. We are going to, and normally when we answer them on LinkedIn, you will see a notification that a message was answered or something like that. So we're going to go through and we're going to make sure we answer every question because we like to serve you. We want to serve you. And yeah, so that's what. So if you don't have it, if you have any more questions, put them in the chat. Lubna will also um, um, respond to them. But I want you to, if you're on LinkedIn and you're not connected with Lubna, you should connect with her. She's an amazing coach. If you're not connected to me, guys, you should connect. We put out content on a daily basis, right? And I just wanted to let you know that Lubna has a website. I want to show you right now, and you will go there and you will also get some resources. I'm sure she has a lot of information there for you. So take that down if you can't get into the chats easy. Hers is easy. It's advanced
advanceconsulting.com. And if
advancedconsulting.com.
you guys are not connected with us, connect with us on LinkedIn so you will see our posts regularly. Okay, you can
My
do.
website is goalinspiredcareercoaching.com. I have a free resume framework on there if you would like to download that. There's some free stuff on there too. So check out our websites. When you go to these websites, there's
Yes.
always something that you can learn, something that you can read. There's always free resources that can help you if you cannot pay for one-on-one coaching, and if you would like to do one-on-one coaching and get some more information from us, you can connect with Loubna on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn. We want to help you, right? We want to help you to get your transformation, because that's what we do. And the reason why we do that, it is because it allows people to get their transformation fast, right? You get your transformation at warp speed very fast. So that would be great too. So Lubna, do you have anything else that you want to say to our lovely people?
Uh, yeah, I mean, just be yourself, know what you want, and prepare for it. Okay, and negotiation should be fun, because at the end of the day, you're negotiating not just for job offers, but you're negotiating with so many people around you. So have fun with it. Yeah.
And the other thing too, if you have any issues with negotiating, it's a skill, right? And we don't expect you to be perfect. But if you want to make sure that you don't leave money on the table, guys, don't leave any money on the table. Okay, I always say that. If you don't want to leave money on the table, it's good to speak with somebody, right? So we're going to go out now. We see you next week, and we'll have a drop in the chat. Drop in the chat if you want us to talk about something specific next week,
Specifically, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we're going to go out with a little bit of music. Why don't we go out with a little bit of music? It's our banner, but we'll go out with a little bit of music, okay?
Yeah, let's
So
do
have a
that.
great Friday. Have a great weekend, guys. And
Bye,
get
everyone. Thank
ready
you.
out to us. Get